almost at the halfway mark of the season, approaching week 7. We're going to see a lot of teams starting to take that much needed bye week, although we do have a lot of teams that are taking bye weeks because of COVID itself. So we'll see how the rest of the schedule plays out. This has not been a smooth season at all. I don't think Roger Goodell has been doing good of a job as some of these other leagues have. We've seen MLB with a early outbreak, but they've been able to contain it really well. NHL did a phenomenal job doing the bubble just like the NBA did. We know both of those leagues had 0 COVID cases. So in terms of my power rankings, I want to go ahead and start with the first team on my list. That is the Kansas City Chiefs. So they get right back to the winning column, picking up a victory against the Buffalo Bills. Everybody was hyping it up, calling it the Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes games, but Buffalo Bills offense was damn near absent in that game. Pretty easy game. It started off a little tight, kind of back and forth of 3 and outs, but Chiefs ended up picking up the pace a little bit. Got quick couple touchdowns with Travis Kelce there. So I put them right back at number 1 because if they were number 1 last week and they pick up a victory against a team like the Bills, I think they deserve to stand out as the number 1 seed in my power rankings. Now they did add Le'Veon Bell. I think that's going to be a really good pickup, especially with a rookie running back and Clyde Edwards. I think he's going to be able to help him out, teach him some of the small things that you learn as you progress in this league. And I think that was just a solid pickup by Andy Reid. I think he's going to fit real well into their offense. They do have some spots that they could use him in, so I'm really interested to see how they're going to develop that offense with him in the backfield. So their defense was a little shaky, or still has been a little shaky, but with the way their offense covers up so much slack for that defense, and you know what, they have a chance of winning the Super Bowl right back at it, because their defense last year, it was pretty solid, a really good front four, but other than that, they weren't the best, but still able to get a Super Bowl win against a dominant defense like the 49ers that year. So I think their defense might hurt them a couple games in the regular season, but when it comes down to it, they should be fine. They are 3rd in their division in terms of points allowed, which isn't the best, but oh well. Their offense, like I said, makes up for a lot of the slack. So second on my list, we do have the Seattle Seahawks. What an offensive outburst has been for them in the first few weeks in the NFL season. They are 5-0 right now. DK Metcalf looking like the best wide receiver in the league. I don't know if it's his performance really or Russell Wilson's, because they're both playing some tremendous football. And then obviously they have Tyler Lockett on the opposite side. What a couple great weapons they have. Now, they are like the Kansas City Chiefs in terms of their defense. They have been struggling a little bit, but you know what? When you have an offense, kind of like the same situation with the Chiefs, when you have an offense of that much talent and that can keep the other team off the field because of how well they're able to move the ball, I think that's more than enough to cover for bad defense. But when playoff time comes, will that still be the case? Not sure about that. We've seen how that fared for them last year in the playoffs, and they haven't really had too many division games, so we do know those division games are a little different, but Seattle Seahawks have been winning those close ball games. It almost seems like every time they're on either primetime or whatever it may be, they're always playing in a close ball game that they end up coming out victorious. Russell Wilson just has that clutch factor in him, and I'm sure he's going to continue to do that all year. He is the front runner for MVP so far this season. Moving on to number 3 in our list, we do have the Baltimore Ravens. What a great season they've had so far as well. They are 5-1. I would say they are top 2 maybe in defense in the whole NFL, because they do only allow 17 points per game, which is right behind the Pittsburgh Steelers. Their secondary has been tremendous. Their front four, just all over their defense. Great all-around performances. They're kind of opposite of some of the teams I've mentioned so far on this list, because their defense is somewhat covering for their offense. Yes, obviously they have the MVP in Lamar Jackson. We know what he's capable of in terms of lethal offense, running the ball, passing the ball, whatever it may be. But I think we may have seen his peak in terms of staying in the pocket, being composed, being able to find his receivers. It's just not coming out of him. He has a tendency to move out of the pocket a lot, try to make that extra run, which, you know what, it will benefit you. But I noticed that when this team starts off in a tight ball game, they do have a struggle to break away from the opposing team. But if they get on the board first and other teams are playing that catch-up football against them, it's hard to compete with. It's really hard because they do such a great job at moving the ball, controlling the clock, and things of that nature. So will that improve as the season progresses? Possibly. We'll see how that goes. I do see them coming away first in the AFC North. Yes, the Pittsburgh Steelers are currently 5-0, but the Baltimore Ravens, I think, have more weapons on both sides of the field to kind of keep this consistent as we progress in the season. Now, coming in at number 4 on our list, we do have the Tennessee Titans. I'm really not sure where there's a flaw in this team. Their offense has been great. Their defense has been possibly even better. Maybe their only flaw I can say is their kicker, who is a Hall of Famer, and Steven Gostkowski. He has missed 5 out of his 14 field goal attempts this year. Look, Derrick Henry is playing at an MVP level even as a running back. He's just literally carrying not only them but the other team as well. He's putting guys on his back, moving them across the field. How about Ryan Tannehill? Everybody was really in question of, you're going to give this guy this X amount of dollars just to hand the ball off to a guy like Derrick Henry, but boy, has he been impressive, putting up really good numbers, not just throwing the ball, but running the ball as well. He's been a great leader since he took over for Marcus Mariota week 5 of last year. So now coming in at number 5, we do have the Tampa Bay Bucks. I just couldn't leave them out of this list after that performance they put up against the Green Bay Packers. Packers did go up early in that game, 10-0, but Aaron Rodgers throwing back-to-back picks, one of them for a pick 6 and the other one put him in a nice position to score. This rush defense has been legit so far this season. We did see how they performed against the Packers. Aaron Jones was basically non-existent that game. And then I like that Brady and Gronkowski combination once again. In the beginning of the season, it was a little bit shaky. Kind of get those guys going. We know Rob Gronkowski took the year off last year, so he has to get back into the NFL shape. But he looked good. He had a really impressive touchdown catch. He had to keep his feet in. Really looked like the athlete that he is. So that's nice to see. I do think this team has a lot of firepower on offense. That's the reason why I'm putting them in here. But also their front four, that is a dangerous squad right there. It looks like Tom Brady is winning that departure of New England. New England's still trying to figure things out with Cam Newton, but the Bucks have been looking phenomenal. I do see them putting up a great fight in the NFC South. So I am all done with my power rankings for Week 7. I hope you guys agree with me. If not, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Tell me who you think deserves to be on this list. That's going to do it for us here at Beat the Odds. I hope you guys enjoy the weekend, enjoy the fights. Remember to follow us on Twitter at BeatTheOdds365 to get all of our exclusive picks, all for free. Don't forget that, and you do still have a chance at winning some money with us as well. So, guys, enjoy the rest of your Thursday and have a great weekend.